why I was thinking about my brother tonight, but I am. So I figured I'd share a little story with y'all. For a number of reasons, a couple of things can be learned from this story. First and foremost, for those of y'all who don't know who this is Patrick Dorismond. And for some strange reason, his name is frequently left out of the discussion about unarmed black men being senselessly murdered by the police in this country. Google him, Patrick Dorismond, Dorismond. Now this is my brother. Now we don't share the same parents. Patrick is Haitian. But all right, let me just tell you the story. So in the year 2000, I spent 14 years in prison from 97 to 2013. Right? And no, excuse me, 2011, bugging. Don't put no extra time on me. And in 2000, I was in Coxsackie Correctional Facility. And I remember I was in C Block coming back from the mess hall, and the cop is reading the paper, the Daily News, and my brother's picture's on the front page of the Daily News. And I freeze when I see it. And the cop is like, Williams, what are you doing? Keep it moving. And I said, nah, I know him. And he said, you don't know him. And I said, yeah, I do. That's Patrick Dorismond. And he says, oh shit, you do know him. And he folds the paper up and he hands it to me. So I take the paper to my cell and I proceed to read a story about how the NYPD had murdered my oldest friend. Literally my oldest friend. I'm talking 1st through 5th grade together. Immaculate Heart of Mary Catholic School. 2 tallest dudes in the class, back to back at the top of the class picture. It's my oldest friend. The last time I had seen him, I had been in and out of town for a while before I got locked up, and I ran into him on Parkside in Flatbush, and he was telling me that he was getting ready to have a little girl, and he was done with the streets. He was like, yo, I'm done. I don't want nothing to do with nothing. I don't want no parts of nothing. I'm having a baby girl, and I said I'm gonna get me a job, and I'm gonna do it the right way. And I remember congratulating him and hugging him and telling him I loved him, and I never saw him again. I got locked up shortly thereafter, and the next time I saw him was on the front page of the Daily News. If you Google him, you'll hear the story. The story is that undercover officer approached him and asked him for where he could buy some weed, and a scuffle somehow popped off. They give one story, but he was in his security uniform, coming from work. Apparently he was offended by this man asking him about buying some weed. Like, I'm in my job uniform. Why are you asking me about weed? I'm not a drug dealer. They claim one thing. There was another brother with him. I don't know who that was. I guess one of his co-workers. He says something else. But, we all know how that goes. So bottom line is I go in my cell and I read this story about my brother being murdered. My brother who the last time I saw was so full of life and was so happy and so excited about his daughter being born and being able to raise his daughter. And it pissed me off. So here I am, 2000, Coxsackie Correctional Facility. Flatbush. I'm Crip. It's not really safe. I don't know what it is right now. It's not really safe to be Crip up north at the time. Wasn't a lot of us. Coxsackie was the first place I had been where it was actually more than 2 or 3 people willing to stand up and say they was Crip because they wasn't scared. And I don't know what to do. And these are the parts of the story. These are the scenes of the movie that the average person leaves out when he's telling you about time in prison. They give you the highlights. They don't tell you about the pain and the loss and the things that they go through and the people that they lose while they up north. I don't know what to do because I want to come out my cell and hurt somebody because I'm mad, but I got to think about the rest of my homies that's there. I can't start a war over some shit that really ain't got nothing to do with nobody in the jail, not the cops or the Damus. So it's just it was a lot. It was a lot to deal with. But like I said, I just wanted to highlight that, you know, don't believe these dudes when they give you all these war stories and tell you about all this fun that they had when they was in prison. I'm not saying they didn't have it. I'm not saying that you don't make the best of, excuse me, of the time when you're there. I'm saying there's a lot of heartaches and pains, a lot of trials and tribulations that people never tell you about. So think about that before you go outside and do some dumb shit and risk your freedom over a couple of dollars. And the next time you see something or you hear something talking about all the innocent black men and women that were killed by the police in this country, make sure you remind them about Patrick, aka Avalanche, my brother from another mother. I holla.